Hello. I hope you have come back from the break. You have returned from the break. Okay, so let us continue. The next thing which we are going to discuss probably will go and create a pipeline to create or pipeline to deploy the application. So I may go and create a pipeline in the Azure DevOps. Though creating a pipeline and deploying via pipeline, it's not no, this exam objective. Uh, so deploying through the CI/CD pipeline is not going to be a part of this AZ-204 exam. Neither it is a part of a curriculum. So this is actually a part of AZ-400 exam. So I'll just show you uh, how to deploy it through via pipeline, CI/CD pipeline. So it is not so it's not part of the exam. So currently you are able to see this is the output. So I just close everything, whatever I'm not using currently. So I'll just close. And I'll just open something called as dev.azure.com. So let me open uh, the Azure DevOps page, and from that DevOps, via that DevOps, I would like to deploy my code. So I'll get into that DevOps page. So I'm logged in currently. So it is loading the home page. Okay. So once the page is loaded, so I can make use of this pipeline. You can go and create a pipeline over here. And via that pipeline, you can deploy your project to the Azure. So you can create over here a pipeline, CI/CD pipeline. You can create inside this, inside the project. So if you look at one of my project, so I've just created a pipeline over here, and I can create a pipeline in YAML base. or using normal classic pipeline, we can go and create. So this is one option you are having. Okay. Another option, you can create a pipeline using GitHub action. So we are going to do that, because GitHub action, everybody are having access. So you can also make use of a GitHub action. So I'll just tell you first conceptually what we are going to do. So in the local machine, I do have a project. So this is the project which is present in my local machine. So I may have a project over here. So whatever be the project present in the local machine, I will be very first thing pushing that project to the GitHub repository. I'll be pushing the project into the GitHub repository. Okay, so once you push that project into the GitHub repository, so you're pushing the project from local to the GitHub, local to the remote. And once somebody push the code to the GitHub, then your work of pipeline will begin. So then your pipeline will be started. So this is your continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines. So as soon as I go and add new code on my local machine, I will go and push that code to the repository. And once the code get pushed inside the repository, my pipeline will start. So this is my CI/CD pipeline. So CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. And from this continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline, I will deploy whatever code which is present over here in the GitHub repo. I will go and deploy that to the app service, and app service I have created on the Azure. So possibly here you are having app service created, and I will just go and publish the project inside the app service. So this is your app service, what we have created before the lunch. And once it is published in the app service, other people, those who are having a URL of this application, so they can access it. So users can access. So this is user 1. This is my user 2. This is my user 3. So as soon as you add a new code inside the project, when you go and push that code, when you push the code, this will trigger a pipeline. So that will trigger a pipeline. So this will trigger a pipeline. That means this will execute a pipeline. And from the pipeline, okay, I will go and set up the pipeline in such a way that, so it will be deploying our code in the app service. The app service which is present in the Azure. So I'll deploy that over there. So you got an idea? So what you're going to do? So this pipeline we are going to set up by using GitHub Action. So this will set up by using GitHub Action, or I can set up by using Azure DevOps. So I can use any one of the option to set up my pipeline. So let's just save this. And I'll just go and create a file, and I'll set up the pipeline. Before I set up a pipeline, I will go to the github.com. So you can also go and open a github.com and you log into the github.com by using your credential. Okay, so I have logged in my GitHub. So this is my GitHub homepage. And right here, I'll just go and create an repository. Just go and create a new repository. Okay, and I'll just go and create a new repository which will hold the project. So this is responsible, for holding my possibly this project I will hold, whatever be the application. So I'll just hold that application inside this. Okay. So I will just go and create a repository name, maybe web app, and I'll give 13 September 2026. So that the repository I can locate it easily. Okay, so I'll just go and create a repository. So once you create a repository, so whatever be the code of that repository, you will store it over here. So how do I want to do? So I will just go and create. I'll do one thing. I'll just go and create new project over here. And how will I create a project? So let me go and create .NET MVC project. So what's a command to create a .NET MVC project? Or let me just use Visual Studio. I can go and create a project by using a command line also, but I'll prefer to create a project by using Visual Studio. So I would like to create a project. So create a new project. What kind of a project you want to create? I will be creating ASP.NET Web MVC project. I'll be creating ASP.NET Web MVC project. So I'll be creating a .NET Core MVC project. Okay, and let me just go and select the location. So I would like to store in this folder. And the name of my application is going to be web app 13 subtable. And so this is the web app, the name I have used. And let me say next. And I'm going to use what .NET 8, and the same .NET 8 is an environment I have set it in the app service also while creating. Okay, and let's say finish. So once you finish, so this project is created, you can see, and I can go and execute this project. I will not make any kind of a changes inside the project. Let me execute project as it is, the way it is created. I'll just run that project. Because our objective is not to understand that project. Our objective is to deploy the project. Okay, once my project is executed, I will get this kind of out. And you make sure this is running on my local machine. So this is running on your local host. So this is running on my local machine. Now, my the goal is to run this on an app service. Okay. Which app service? This app service. Currently, I'm getting this output. Okay. So I would like to get this kind of out. So when I go and deploy this code over here on this, then whatever be this output, you're getting it over here, you will get it code. Got it? So first thing I'll try to deploy. Okay. So I'll try to deploy from the Visual Studio Code. So I'll try to deploy this code from the Visual Studio Code. So from here, I will be deploying the code directly. So once the deployment is completed from the Visual Studio, then we will try to deploy the same project by using a CI/CD. So let's deploy first. So in order to deploy this project, I'll right click. Okay, and I'll say publish. So you will be publishing your project. Then it is asking you where you want to publish. So I want to publish it to the Azure. So let's select Azure. Then in the Azure, you might have a different services where you can deploy your project. So I want to deploy my project into the app service, Windows-based app service. The next, so you can look at this. This is currently logged in with the same user, which I have already done. I've logged in with the same user who has access of a subscription. That's the reason it is already detected. This is the name of a resource group you're having under this subscription. And in this resource group, already have this application. Okay. And if I want to deploy, I can deploy to deployment slot, or I can deploy to the production directly. Okay. So we can do either deploying that code to the deployment slot or deploy to the directly production. So let's deploy directly to the production from the VS Code. Okay. Let's say finish. So this will create a publish profile. Your publish profile is created. Once your publish profile is ready, now I can ultimately go and publish the code. So I can go and publish the code from here. And let's look at, it might give you some console messages, and we'll observe that console messages, whether our deployment is happening properly or not. Build as completed and publish has started. Now it is publishing these. That means it is going well. So it is trying to publish all these files from my local. Okay, and ultimately it is successful. So you can go and check the output. And you can see a refresh. And there you go. So this is the output you're getting. So whatever I was getting locally, I was able to get it over here. And this is not coming from my local machine. So this is coming from the URL. So I'll just give you the URL. You just get and try to access that URL. I've just given the URL in the chat box. Okay, and try to access the URL and confirm whether it is visible like this or not. So we are able to successfully deploy the application from our local ID, local Visual Studio. Okay. So I'll just do small change. Okay. So over here, I'm just having a welcome. So I'll just go and add one division, and this is update version 2. So this is a new line that I have added. So whenever I have added a new line, I've saved it locally, but I can't get the output over here on the browser. If I try to run this web app, I'm getting it still old output. So for that, you need a redeployment. Okay, so what you will be doing? Again, you will be right-clicking on this, creating a new published profile. Okay, better to create a new published profile. So let's create a published profile. Select where you want to publish and what you want to publish. I want to publish this code to this. Okay. So whatever available on my local machine, I want to deploy this to app service. Okay. And I'll say finish. So my published profile will be created. And once my published profile is created, I can go and say finally publish. So this will start publishing your code to the Azure app service. And once that publish is successful, this is where you will be able to see the this is the updated version. And I can see the okay. So guys, you can confirm this URL, whether you are able to see the output or not. Then go and confirm, please. Okay. Can somebody give me a confirmation? Are you listening, guys? Can you give me a confirmation, please? Okay. So thank you, Chetan. Now, yeah. So you are able to browse that, and this is the application you are able to see. Okay. Now let's do the last part of this session, and we will deploy the application by using CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration, and continuous deployment pipeline. And for that, I will come over here and I log into my GitHub. So you can also go and log into your GitHub. Same way you can also do it. So GitHub, you do not require a paid account. So GitHub account, your existing GitHub account, you can log in. Okay. Once you log in, let's go and create a repository. You can go and create a new repository. And once your new repository is created, so I want to have a code in this. What code? So whatever be the code that I have created just now, I have created this project just now from the Visual Studio. I have created this project. So I want to push that code to this. push that code over here to this. You know? So for that, I'll just go and open a command prompt in this directory. Right here, I'll just open a command prompt. Once you open a command prompt, you don't have a Git repository. As of now, I don't have a Git repository over here. So I will be creating a Git repository by using a git init. So there is a command called as git init, which will help us to initialize a Git repository. So this will be initializing a Git repository. You'll be able to see after that there is a .git folder will be created. And once the Git repository is initialized, all these existing files folders will be, recognized as a untracked files from the Git. So this needs to add everything in the Git. So I will add entire thing from the current folder, whichever files not tracked, everything need to be added in the Git folder. Oh, okay. So this is giving me a problem that .vs code is not able to add. Okay. So for that, I will be creating one file. So let me just go and create one file. And create a file, and file name, I will just go and say git ignore dot git ignore. So I'll be adding that file. So in this, what I'll go and ignore. So I don't want .vs folder to be added inside the Git. So I'll just ignore that .vs folder and all the content of that .vs folder. So likewise, whatever be the code I don't want to publish, I can just go and ignore that. No, but here as of now, I'll just go and ignore that .vs folder. Okay, and let me just do it once again. So now it is trying to add, and it is since there are many files, so it will taking time to add that to a Git. So once my files and folders added to a Git, this will come back to the prompt like this. And the next thing, I should go and add a commit message. So I should go and commit to the local repository. So I'll just say git commit. Okay. So now your file is committed. All these files are committed. Now I need to push, but where I would like to push. So I have a remote repository created. So this is the location of a remote repository. Okay. So I will take that path. By the way, all commands you will be able to see it over here. So I'll just execute this one by one. I will take that path and I'll add that to a remote location. So first of all, if I check currently, there is no remote. So I would like to add, okay, the origin. So origin is just a name for remote URL. Other than origin, I can just place my name also. That is also possible. I can put Makran. That is possible. Absolutely. Yes. You know, so I'll just call this as, I'll just stick to this origin and the URL. What's the syntax? So this indicates I want to add the origin, add this origin, the name, and this is the actual location. From where you are adding? From the local get. So once you say this, now there is a origin. So now this local is connected to the GitHub, connected to this particular repository. Now, if I say git push, what I want to push? I want to push the main branch. So there is a branch called as main branch. So all the entire example, all the files folder are present in the main branch. So I would like to push that entire main branch to the origin. And where origin is pointing to? Origin is pointing to the GitHub. So where I want to push? So I would like to push to the GitHub. What? I will pushing to the GitHub, this main branch content. So once you say this git push origin main, it will start pushing the code. Okay, so it will start pushing the code. And once pushing is successful, you should be able to see all these files. And right here, I'm just on the GitHub. And I have pushed the code from my local machine. Got it? So as of now, I just have this. Now, for example, I'm just updating this. I'm just making the version 3. So when you say version 3, if you check over here in the home index, you can still see version 2. If you look at the branch also, okay, so I have main branch. Okay, and in the main branch, I can see a commit history. So there is one commit only. Okay, that was happened just 3-4 minutes back. Okay, so in that, I don't have this updated value. So that updated value, I should go and push that once again. So for before pushing, you should add that whatever changes you have made, you have to add that to the Git. Once you add, you need to commit to the local drive, local repository. Right after commit, you can just go and push, because you already set up the remote repository. So it is not required to set up it, again and again. So once you require setup, once it is done, you can just go and push simply. There is that command. So there is a command. I'll go and push. So when I go and push, the entire content will be pushed to this. So here, as of now, you are able to see version 2 only. But now if I refresh this, I should see version 3. And can you see this? Just committed just now. And if you look at the code now, if I just look at views, home, index, and this is where I can see the updated file, which I have just updated. So from this diagram, what we have done, we have created the project locally. We have pushed that project to the GitHub. Now the next part to create this pipeline. So we will be creating this pipeline. And once after creating a pipeline, finally, we will be pushing the code to the app service. So our next step is to create a pipeline. So let's see. So if you go in the GitHub repository, creating a pipeline in a GitHub repository, creating and running the pipeline in a GitHub repository, as of now, it is free. It is completely free to run the pipeline in your GitHub repository. So you can also run your pipeline, run your own pipeline in the GitHub project or in the GitHub repository. So for creating a pipeline, we should go to action. Can you see this? There should be an action that is also called as a GitHub action. So I'll click on this GitHub action. Okay. And based on your application, it is having wide variety of templates are available using which you can set up your GitHub action. Okay, but I would like to set up the first GitHub action. Since it is first GitHub action, I would like to set up by myself. So I'll just click on this, set up your own by yourself without using any kind of a template. So let me just go and click on this, set up a workflow yourself. And this is where I have to type the GitHub action, GitHub action. So let me again go to this, the Git Copilot, and I'll just request Copilot. So create a simple hello world GitHub action. So this will create a simple hello world GitHub action. So this is going to create a YAML file. Can you see this YAML file? So this is the name of your pipeline. You can say name of your pipeline. Then this pipeline will get executed, trigger when you are having anything modified in the main branch. And what is that main branch? Main branch, we're referring to this main branch. So anything updates inside the main branch, so your pipeline will be executed. Okay. And let me copy this. And I'll just put it over here. So this is the name of your branch, your pipeline. So this is, let me call my pipeline. So this is my pipeline. This will be trigger. This pipeline will be trigger whenever there is any kind of a changes on the main branch. Then every time it will execute this pipeline. Okay. And this job I have to execute. But whenever you want to execute a job, you need some kind of a machine to execute a job. So that in the DevOps terminology, that's called as an agent. So you need any kind of agent. So I am going to use a agent which is provided by a Microsoft. So this is Microsoft hosted agent. So your pipeline will be executed where? Your pipeline will be executed on this machine, because you're just having this, pipeline stored on the GitHub. GitHub is not, on your machine. You're accessing that on your machine, but it is hosted somewhere else. So whenever you want to trigger a pipeline, the pipeline need to be executed. So ultimately, I need this line to be executed. So who will execute that line? Where that line will get executed? So answer is this will be executed on this agent. So important point to remember. So agent is going to provided by Microsoft. And let me tell you, this is free to use in the GitHub action. If you use that in a Azure DevOps, it is not free. You have to pay for it. Every execution, you will have to pay for it. But as of now, GitHub action, it is free. Never know in the future that Microsoft might be decided to, charge this also. But as of now, it is free. And ultimately, that this script will be executed on the Ubuntu latest. So just like that, I can just go and make use of a Windows latest also. That's the agent. So Windows latest, Ubuntu latest, these are the agent name. So I'll just go and create a pipeline. The name of my pipeline is going to be a main.yaml. Okay, where it will be created? It will be created under a workflow folder. You will find a workflow folder under GitHub, and you will find that .github folder in your repository. So let's say finally commit. So this will save your change to the main branch directly. And as and when I save the change, my pipeline will be triggered. And you see, this is your pipeline is getting triggered. This is just now triggered. And I can see the output of that pipeline. So there is one job. Hello is the name of the job. And that job is triggering. And I can just go and look at, what is the console output. So where this is triggering, where this is executing. So it is executing on a machine which is provided by the Microsoft. Okay, and this is the output. I'm getting it from that, ultimately from that machine, and ultimately from the pipeline. You get it? So your pipeline is triggering, pipeline is getting executed. So just like that, if you want to execute, if you want to, or if your developer has a fourth version, fourth update. So I'll just go and save that fourth update. So where I'm doing, where I'm saving it locally. Whenever you decide to push, it will push to the GitHub. It will push to this GitHub repository. And whenever it will be pushed, you're going to do a changes inside the main branch. So whenever you are having anything get trigger in the main branch, that will execute a pipeline. So this should execute it once again after I go and push the change, this fourth change. So let me just go and do the same thing. Add version 4. Okay, and after that, I'll just go and say push. So once you push, so there is a changes that we have done on the GitHub directly. So that changes I don't have. So I need to pull that changes because that main.yaml file is created. So that is get changed because of the pipeline. So that's the reason I need to pull that changes. Once you do a pull, you can push. And once you push the change, the push will happen over here on this repository. And over here, this is one time executed. But if I refresh this, so can you see the second time executed? So the pipeline is executing second time. And I'll be able to get the out. Okay. So I'm hoping guys you're listening to me. So we will extend this pipeline ahead. So we will push now that code, whatever you have, having in the repository, the same code I will push to the app service. So that's the last thing we will do. Okay, and we will conclude our session. Okay, and that's the that require maybe another half an hour to deploy it because there are a lot of things involved. So you're going to get the output ultimately. So this is the output you're getting. Okay. Now I would like to create one more pipeline. This is the pipeline I was created the hello world pipeline. Similarly, I would like to create one more pipeline that will actually do a work of deployment where my code will get deployed in the Azure App Service. So for that, I'll just go and create a new workflow. Okay. And since there is going to be a lot of code, so I will not try it by myself. So I'll go and make use of a template. So I do have .NET Core application, but this is deploying on the function app. So I don't want to deploy it on the function app. I want to deploy it on a web app, but this is the template is deploying a Node.js application. I don't want to deploy a Node.js application. I do have a .NET Core application, and this is deploying to the web app. So this is a template is suitable for me. So I will configure this template. So I'll just configure this template. Okay. So there are a lot of things which are included inside this. And you can read about this. So this is mostly include the instruction. So this is the name of the pipeline. This is going to be so I'll name it as Azure Web App Pipeline. What is our web app name? I'll take that name of a web app. Okay, and we might get hiccups while deploying this. So it will almost take half an hour. I'm anticipating a problem, and to resolve those problems, overall half an hour, 45 minutes maximum it will take. So I would like to deploy on this web app. So this is a web app that I have created. Now, if I look at the version, .NET version 8 I'm using. I do have the project which is present inside a main branch. Okay, and there is somebody who is going to responsible for doing a deployment. Okay, and agent which is responsible for doing a deployment. So on this agent, your pipeline will go and build your .NET project, and will publish that .NET project to the app service. Okay, so this is. So I'm going to very first thing. I will check out this. That's okay. I'll keep this package log JSON. That's okay. Yeah, I will build the .NET project. I will create a publish profile. Also, yeah, publish and name of my project. So I'll use that same name of my project. Okay, so once I create a publish profile, this will update in the artifact. So this is something else. This is not application. So I'll just go and make use of the same name, whatever I have published. Now this job, this deploy job is responsible for deploying your application to the DevOps, to the Azure. Okay. Anmol, you have to refer to the recording, if you want to recall this. The YouTube recording will be available on Monday. You have to refer this and recall this. At present, I don't have any documentation created, step-by-step documentation created for this. Okay, so deploy is one more job, and there is another agent will be responsible for that. And agent will go and, okay, so it is downloading an artifact. Okay. And it is, so this is responsible for publishing to the web app, to the Azure. Okay. And this is your Azure web app name. And let's see, this is the package name. And this is my publish profile. Okay. So my name of a web application, it is configured over here. So this is the name of the web application. Package path, I'm just giving dot over there. So this is using that dot. And this thing, this is something what you want in order to do a publish into the Azure App Service. So I need a publish profile. And where I will get that publish profile? So I will get that publish profile from the Azure. So I will get that publish profile from the Azure only. So I will have to go and add that publish profile. This is not an environment. I have to add that publish profile to the secret. So inside the secret of this repository, I should add that publish profile. So as of now, let me just go and copy this name of the variable, because I will create similar name. And let me save this. Okay. Of course, this will fail for the first time because I don't have that publish profile path. So this is your hello pipeline, which is getting executed. This will pass, but this will fail. So ultimately, this will fail in the deployment. So your building is successful, but this will fail in the deployment because I don't have a published profile. So there are two jobs. One is build job. So this is actually called as continuous integration, and deploy job. This is also, actually called as continuous deployment. So as and when I go and do a changes in my local machine, those changes will be taken into the Git, and that pipeline is responsible for build and deploy. So continuously it will be doing what build and deploy, and this will go and build and deploy your changes, whatever changes you are doing locally. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is going to fail in the deployment. So let me add a variable, a publish profile. So I should click on this setting. And I should add a secret, under the security. There should be secrets and variables. And let me add a secrets to the action, GitHub action. And I'll just go and create new repository secret. And the name of my secret is Azure publish profile. And so this is the name just confirm whether it is having the same name or not. Yes, it is. And so this published profile, you will get it from the app service. You know, so I need to add something in the published profile. No? So what to add? What is the value? So I should go there in the app service, go to the overview page in the app service. And in the overview page, can you see this download published profile? So I will go and download the published profile. Okay, and I'll open that published profile in the notepad. Okay, and this is the published profile you're able to see. And whatever be the published profile, I should go and copy. So I've copied the published profile and I'll go and add that to in the secret. So the value of a published profile which you have download from here, so we'll be adding it over here. So with this published profile only, this is going to provide some kind of security or some kind of authentication. So you're right person to deploy the code. Otherwise anybody can go and do okay, the push into the my app. No, so there has to be some kind of authorization or okay, some kind of token I should provide so that this person is responsible for deploying my code. So this is that token. This is going to provide that authorization. So this pipeline is responsible for deploying the changes inside my. So currently I'm getting the output version 2. And I was having what updated what version 5 now. So let's see. Okay. And after adding this, let me just go in. So my Azure web app publish profile is ready. Okay. And then let me just go and execute this once again. Okay. So I'll try and check if the execution is successful. That is well and good. If not, then I'll have to just go and create. I have to give a prompt to the GitHub Copilot to give me the YAML file for deploying. So let's see. I'll go to the action, GitHub action. I'll go to this particular pipeline. Okay. Where my deployment was unsuccessful and status was failure. And let me just go and rerun all the job. Let me rerun all the job, or I can rerun the failed job only deploy. But I'll just rerun all the job. So specifically, you're you're running this pipeline, Azure web app pipeline. Of course, building will be successful, but we'll have to see whether deployment is successful or not. Okay, so deployment has started. Yeah, package deployment So application is deployed currently successfully. Okay, so my deployment job is also successful. Can you see this? Now, if I just go and check the output over here, I should get some updated value. So version 5 I'm getting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, Anu. Yeah, version 4 you are getting. So are you able to understand this? So what we are doing, so you're going to do a changes inside a local machine. As and when those changes is pushed, my pipeline will be triggered. And once the pipeline build and deploy step, works, and that deploy phase is going to deploy your code to the bank. And that code output will be instantly available to the all the users. So let me do one more change. So this is my last change. So I'll just do version 5. Okay. So I just made the changes. So I should go and do what? Add those changes. Add the commit. And then push the changes. I do have something which is not pulled yet. Pull origin May. So I've just pulled it. Now let me push it. No, I have pushed the change. Now this should trigger the pipeline. No, this should trigger a pipeline. So both the pipeline is triggered. So I want to observe this pipeline. So I'll just go there. My building is happening currently. Building is successful. My deployment is started. Okay, and my deployment is also successful. And once my deployment is successful, I can just go and check. You can also confirm, are you able to see version 5? Yes, I do. You can also just go and check whether you are able to see version 5 or not. No? Yeah, thank you so much. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, Shubh, I'll just conclude the session in 5-10 minutes. I'll just be there. So you want to say?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have seen our deployment, by using 4 different ways. So we have created our app service. App service is acting as a platform as a service. When I go and create an app service, my 2 resources will be created: app service and app service plan. You know, we have initially done the deployment via app service editor. So it's a browser-based tool from the portal itself. It will allow us to deploy a code. Then later, we have gone ahead and done that deployment via Git, local Git. Okay. And uh, we have completed that deployment using local Git. Okay. And after that, we have seen during that discussion, we have seen the concept of blue-green deployment. So we have seen the concept of blue-green deployment. We have understood the concept of a deployment slot. Okay. And after that, we have deploy our code from the Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio. And ultimately, we have created a pipeline in a GitHub action, and from that pipeline, we could deploy our code to the app service. So initially, we have seen the enter ID and what is the purpose of the enter ID. So that we have spoken in the morning. Okay, so that's it from my side for this session. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for attending. Over to you, Shubh. Do you have any final statements to make?
Yes, everybody, please do give your feedback for this session. I've shared the link in the chat box. Make sure you give your feedback and then you can end the session. And also, please do redeem your learning achievement badges. It will be really helpful for you. So before ending the session, please do give your feedback. I've shared the link and also uh, do redeem your learning achievement badges. I've shared the link in the chat box.
Okay, and Shubh, you can also guide when this recording will be available on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You can
So
just share the link of our YouTube channel also.
yes, I'll share it again. So this recording will be available to you by Monday. You can access the recording by Monday on our YouTube channel. I'll share the link to our YouTube channel. So I've shared the link. You can access the recordings on the YouTube channel by Monday. Once you guys have finished filling the feedback form and uh, redeemed your learning achievement badges, you guys can end the session. And thank you so much, everyone, once again for attending this session.
Okay, guys, requesting you to please submit a feedback. It is really helpful for me to improve my trainings, and it will be if I get to hear a kind words from you, then it will encouragement for me to do the better work next time also. So your feedback is really valuable to us. So please give your valuable feedback, and after you give valuable feedback, you just say just acknowledge in the chat so that I've completed the feedback. Okay, and then you can end the meeting or you can leave the meeting. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm just waiting for here for some time. Uh, so I'm expecting some responses from the people. If you do have any kind of a questions, so I'm here only, you can ask me those questions also. Thank you, Anmol. Thank you, Raja. Thank you, Chetan. I hope you have you submitted the feedback also. Thank you, Samuel. I hope you have completed the feedback. Feedback link is there in the chat already. Recording will be available in the YouTube channel, the Synergetics YouTube channel, and it will be available on the this this Monday. It will be available on this Monday. You can see this. This is the recording link. This is a channel. And where is that feedback link? So this is the feedback link. Yeah, only share that link. YouTube channel link I have already shared. Ritesh, do you want once again YouTube channel link? Will share it once again? Okay. Please click it. Yeah, I have shared it. And just now I have shared the feedback link also. If you want that feedback link also, I have just shared it once again. Yeah, Ritesh, I am providing one documentation link of GitHub Action. So you can refer for more info, the GitHub documentation. Okay, I hope other people are writing the feedback at least. So thank you so much. So if you are still not fill up the feedback, please requesting you to fill up the feedback. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for attending, and hope to see you next time whenever we organize any such session. So thank you. Thank you so much. I'm dropping off. Thank you.